Do you have a favorite fall tradition?
When I have a worry-filled mind, I like to wander outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Hi friends, Mrs. A here. Thank you so much for joining me today for our last episode in the month of October. I'm really glad that you're here, and I want to start by doing a zones check-in. If you visited with me before, you know these color zones each represent a different way we may be feeling. None of the zones are good or bad. They just help us better communicate or share how we are feeling in the moment. And we all feel a lot of different feelings throughout the day and throughout the week. And so this is just a helpful tool that we can add to our little toolbox. Now, let me remind you of what each color zone means in case you've forgotten. The blue zone means we are feeling a little tired or slow moving. We might be feeling sad or lonely, maybe just kind of down. The green zone means that we are feeling comfortable. We're feeling settled in our body. Our brain is thinking clearly. We're feeling in control. The yellow zone means that we feel like we're starting to lose control. Maybe we're confused. We might feel worried or anxious. We might be a little bit mixed up or foggy in our minds. The red zone means that we are out of control. We are feeling really angry or really overwhelmed. Our brains may be filled with thoughts, and we may not be able to think clearly or act in ways that we are trying to act. Now, as I said, there are no good or bad zones, just like there are no good or bad feelings. But when we communicate or share or name our zone or our feeling, we actually help our brains and bodies feel a bit more comfortable. We also have the added benefit of helping people around us understand how we're feeling, and it can also allow them to help us if we need some help. So let's practice naming our color zone right now. What I'd like you to do is look around your space and see if you can find an object that matches the color zone you're in. Take some time first to make sure you know what zone you're in. I'll do the same. Did you find your object? I'm in the blue zone right now. I'm feeling a little extra sleepy and tired today. My body is slow moving, and so I'm in the blue zone. What about you? Thank you so much for sharing, for taking the time to name your color zone. There are so many different things that we can do to move from zone to zone. Maybe you've heard me talk about some of them before, like practicing mindfulness or going out and moving our bodies. And we talk about a lot of different strategies here on my show, so make sure you hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already, so you can get those helpful reminders each time I share a new lesson. We also always practice moving our bodies together. No matter what zone we're in, this is a really great way for us to build our muscles, to help keep our hearts healthy, and to encourage our brains to think more clearly and feel more comfortable. And Fig always helps us out with one of those moves. What do you think Fig is showing us today? Now, Fig's a little mysterious. They do not tell us right away. They want to give you some time so you can think about it. Make your observations, look carefully, and then make a guess when it's time. The first move we are going to do 10 of, because it is still the month of October, are head rolls. You can do these sitting or standing. All you have to do is roll your head. And we're going to do it 10 times. You can do it 10 times in one direction or switch it up, whatever feels best for you. Let's count together all the way up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully your neck is feeling a little bit more relaxed. Maybe your shoulders too are feeling more comfortable. Now, let's check back in with Vig and see what they're showing us. Oh, side stretches. Thanks, Vig. That feels great. Similar to our head rolls, you can do these sitting or standing, whatever's best for you and your space. We are going to do one less than 10. So if I had 10 head rolls, what is one less? 9. Great job. Let's do 9 side stretches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awesome. Last but not least, we have one more move to do. And we're going to keep counting down. So we had 10, then 9. What is 1 less than 9? 8, my favorite number. And we are going to do dance moves. Now, you can do whatever dance moves you like. All I ask is that you do a dance move that brings you joy and feels good for you. Sitting, standing, laying, however you want to do it. Let's do 8 dance moves. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, my friends, thank you so much for moving your body with me. Next, we are going to do some cool down breaths. When you hear a bell, fill your belly big with air and then slowly let it out. Ready? Thank you so much for cooling down after moving your body with me. Even if you started out in the green zone or a different color zone like me, I hope you're feeling a little more comfortable in your body right now. At the beginning of this episode, I asked if you have a favorite fall activity, and fall is such an incredible season here on Turtle Island. It is one of my favorites. So I'm really eager to share today's message with you and hear a bit more about some fall activities or holidays that we may enjoy. Dear splendid and spooktacular friends, Happy Halloween to those who celebrate. If you do decide to celebrate today, I'm wondering if you like to dress up, trick or treat, carve pumpkins, or do something else. There are also families that celebrate Dia de los Muertos, or don't celebrate a holiday at all, and that's okay too. What I love most about autumn, or fall, is all of the awesome activities you can do. Apple picking, leaf raking, pumpkin painting, bonfire building, and more. What's your favorite thing to do during this time of year? Love, Mrs. A. Friends, do you have a favorite thing to do in fall? Shout it out, I'd love to hear it. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. As always, if you ever want to send me a picture or a drawing that you've made answering some of my questions, you can always find my email in the description of my video. And while you're down there, make sure you've liked the video and subscribed as well. That always helps me out. Now, without further ado, let's get to some of these books, because this is one of my favorite times of year, as I mentioned, and Halloween is actually my most favorite holiday. And so I'm going to share with you a book about Halloween and then a book about a holiday that I don't celebrate, but I've really enjoyed learning about, Dia de los Muertos. All right, this first book is called Los Gatos Black on Halloween. And what I love about this book is that there are words in English and in Spanish. And right away in the title, I see some Spanish words. Los Gatos Black. What do you see on the cover that is black? The cat. So the black cats, Los Gatos, are the cats. This is the black cat. And so this book is such a fun combination of English and Spanish, as I mentioned, and it has so many great rhymes in it. I could read it over and over again. It's almost like a song. We'll look at just a few pages together. I hope you enjoy it and are inspired to grab your own copy from your library or from the link in my description. Los Gatos Black on Halloween. Written by Marissa Montez, illustrated by Yuyi Morales. Los Gatos Black on Halloween. Los Gatos Black with eyes of green. Cats slink and creep on Halloween. Los ojos keen that squint and gleam. They yowl, they hiss, they sometimes scream. Did you hear any other Spanish words? Los ojos, the eyes. Las calabazas, fat and round, carved pumpkins guard a hallowed ground. Their eerie faces burning bright form spooky beacon in the night. Do you like to carve pumpkins for Halloween? Las brujas guide their broomsticks high. The witches on escobas fly. Above the earth, before the moon, they swoop and swish and swoosh, and soon. If you grab your own copy of this book, you'll get to see the other characters that there are to meet in this fantastic story. And as I mentioned, Halloween is my favorite holiday, so there are so many parts in here that I really enjoy. If you like Halloween as well, or are just curious about some different parts of how Halloween might be depicted or what people might do on Halloween, then definitely grab yourself a copy of Los Gatos Black on Halloween. Next is a book about Dia de los Muertos. As I mentioned, it is a very popular holiday that is different than Halloween. And this book is really great at telling more about what the holiday means and how it's celebrated. Dia de los Muertos by Hannah Elliott, illustrated by Jorge Gutierrez. At the end of October every year, a very special holiday begins. It is Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. Have you heard of the Day of the Dead before? Dia de los Muertos is an ancient tradition celebrated in Mexico and other places around the world. During this holiday, people take time to remember and celebrate family and friends who have passed away. Although it's called Day of the Dead, our celebrations last several days. So even though it says Day of the Dead in the name, it's very common or traditional for the celebrations to go on for many days. With delicious foods, brightly colored decorations, and festive parties, we honor the lives of the people we miss, including those who left us many years ago. But before Dia de los Muertos begins, we must prepare. And I'm going to pause here because, as I said, this book is filled with all of the traditions and all of the different parts of Dia de los Muertos. And so you'll have to grab your own to learn more about it. But I love that there are so many different ways that people celebrate and honor people they've lost or people that have passed on. Dia de los Muertos is a really beautiful holiday to learn about, and if you celebrate it, I imagine it's a really beautiful and special holiday to celebrate. Now, this next one is also related to Dia de los Muertos. It is a little bit different in that it talks about a character who has lost her twin sister. And if you've ever lost somebody that was close to you or someone special to you, you know it could be really hard when they're not there anymore. You may miss them a whole lot. You may feel sad without them. You may feel a bit lost at times. And I really like this book, Rosita and Conchita, because it reminds me of how we're all still connected, even to the people that have passed on. And this book also talks about some of the traditions in Dia de los Muertos. It's written in such a beautiful and rhyming way as well, also in English and in Spanish. So if you prefer one language to the other, you can read it in whatever is best for you. My English is stronger than my Spanish, so I'll read the English words today. Rosita y Conchita, a rhyming storybook in English and Spanish, by Eric Gonzalez and Eric Hager. It is the Day of the Dead, the 2nd of November, when our loved ones who've passed we celebrate and remember. The spirits try with all their might to visit the living for just one night. In the town of Pueblo City lives a girl named Conchita. She's come to prepare an altar for her twin sister, Rosita. And so Conchita is doing one of the traditional activities during Dia de los Muertos. She's building an altar, an area to remember her by, to light candles and bring her gifts. Together they used to laugh and play until one day little Rosita passed away. So Conchita makes an altar for her sister so she can show her how much she missed her. Meanwhile, in the land of those now gone, Rosita hopes to see her sister before morning's dawn. The celebrations have begun as people prepare and strive to greet their loved ones on the other side. But little Rosita doesn't smile or even dare to grin. She's too worried that her sister may have forgotten her long-lost twin. Do you think Conchita has forgotten her sister? I don't think so either. Conchita has not forgotten her sister. In fact, she remembers well. She's prepared her sister's favorite food to entice her with the smell. I love that she is remembering her sister by sharing or making or doing the things that her sister loved. And as I said, if you grab this book and read the rest for yourself, you'll see other traditions and things that people do when they are celebrating Dia de los Muertos. It is a fantastic book, and it is filled with really wonderful illustrations as well, as I'm sure you saw. Now, before we go, I wanted to do a mindfulness stretch that's related to Halloween. I thought we could do a ghost stretch. Maybe you've dressed up as a ghost or seen someone dressed up as a ghost. Maybe you watched my recent read aloud, How to Make Friends with a Ghost. I wanted to try a ghost stretch because I thought it was a good connection to what we're talking about. And so all we have to do is stand up. And as we breathe in, we're going to pretend we're floating high like a ghost. And as we breathe out, we're going to fall back down. Let's do this 5 times. You ready, little ghosts? Let's do it 4 more times. Breathe in, float high. 2 more. Last one, float as high as you can. And float back down. All right, my ghouls and ghosts and goblins, how are you feeling after that mindful stretch and breath? Silly. Me too. You feeling relaxed? Oh, lighter. Awesome. Friends, thank you so much for practicing that mindfulness activity with me. As a reminder, if you hit that red subscribe button or visit my past videos, there are different mindfulness activities at the end of each lesson. So you can always check those out if this one didn't connect well with you today, or if you liked it so much and you want to try other ones I've shared. Before you go, I wanted to tell you that I love you because you're you, not because of what you do. And I can't wait to see you next time.